I want to talk to you tonight about heaven. I want to talk to you tonight about heaven for a little while. And you know what he says in the book? Jesus said, I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. Someone said to me, Dr. Lakin, do you believe that heaven is a place? Yes. Just as real as any city of this earth. I believe that heaven is a place because you have to have a place to lay up treasures in. Now, I believe that when Jesus died, he died in a real, tangible body. When he died in a real, tangible body. When he was buried in a real, tangible body. And when he arose, I believe he arose in a real body, literal body, of flesh and bone. Because on the way out, he said, put your fingers in my hand and thrust them into my side. He said, a spirit doesn't have flesh and bone as you see me have. And I believe in that body, I believe in that body of crucifixion. When he arose in it. And he walked out yonder to the Mount of Olives and gave his valedictory address and went up into the heavens. And as he went up, they stood gazing and watching. And someone said, is that all we'll ever know of him? Is this all of it? Is he being taken away? Have we been invited into this marvelous fellowship to have it so suddenly terminated? And as he went up into heaven, they stood and watched until there was only a little speck away yonder in the heavens. And as they gazed up, in a moment, it was gone. And they said, is that all? Will we never hear from him again? Will we never hear from him again? And they said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Jesus, not another one, this same Jesus that you see taken up into heaven shall so come in like manner as you have seen him go. And he swept down the street of heaven and sat down at the right hand of God. And he sits there tonight in that same body. In the same body that he was crucified in the same body that he ascended in. And he'd have to do that. He would have to have that as he... Therefore, my friend, if Jesus Christ ascended into the heaven in a literal body and will return in that same literal body, then heaven must be a place. You say you think that heaven's a place? Yes, I do. You think it now exists? I think it does. And I believe tonight, if we could get on a missile tonight and go out past the moon and the sun and the stars and on out a million, a billion, trillion miles, somewhere out yonder tonight, we'd find heaven. A literal city, 1,500 miles long, 1,500 miles wide, and 1,500 miles high. Went forth to measure the city 12,000 furlongs. Height and length and depth of it are equal. And out there somewhere we'd find suspended tonight in heaven a literal city. And I say that for this reason, because that city that is now suspended out there will someday come down and become the capital city of the new earth. It'll come down and become the capital city of the new earth. You say, Dr. Lakin, do you believe that people are in it tonight? Yes, I do. Because I believe that my mother and my father and my boy, and I believe if I was to cease to breathe where I stand right here tonight, I believe the next moment I'd walk the streets with God and the angels, and I'd have a literal place. And I think they're sitting out there tonight. I think my mother's in the grandstand tonight, sitting out there looking down this way. And I think my boy is out yonder tonight and he's saying, Dad, don't give up now. You haven't got many more days to go. Bill, I'll be coming one of these days. And it may be pretty soon. And so heaven, my friend, would have to be a place, and when it comes down as the capital city of the new earth. Heaven, therefore, my friend, is not a dream. It's not a fairyland. It's not like that foolish, senseless song you sing sometimes about beautiful Isle of Somewhere. It's not a fairyland, it's not a dream, it's an absolute place. I believe that in the morning of the resurrection we will have a body. What kind of a body will we have? We'll have an incorruptible body. Everything that flows from this body is corruption, gangrene, locomotor attack, all of it. All of it. Diabetes. Won't have any of that. I asked the Lord to make me sweet and He overdid it. Let me tell you something, my friend. But I'm going to say this to you. No, you're going to have a body that everything that proceeds from this body is corruption. The new body will be incorruptible. You'll have a youthful body. No more gray hairs. Amen. There won't be any imperfections in heaven. Therefore, heaven will be a place and we'll have a body of perfection. Let me say another thing. Heaven's going to be a place, and it's going to be a big place. The lady said to her husband, honey, will you love me when my hair is turned to silver? He said, I guess I've loved you through 3 shades now already. Whom do you think will be in heaven? I'll tell you, some old-fashioned sinners saved by grace. And he said that heaven is a city of gates. A city of gates. You say, Dr. Lakin, what has that to do with it? That signifies to me there's some special way to get in. And Jesus said, I am the door. By me. And would God we could tear away all the brush sometimes and get everything out of the way and let people see Jesus. And Jesus said, I am the door. By me if any man enter in. And He said, the gates shall not be shut at all by night. Shall not be shut at all by day. Why? Listen to me, my friend. In heaven there won't be any night. You remember Enoch who went walking with God? And he walks so close to God and he walks so far that when the evening came, God said, Enoch, you're closer to my house than you are to yours. Why don't you just come on in? And Enoch said they might not understand it. They might not understand it if I did that. And he said they will. So Enoch went in to spend the day, and he's never been seen back on the earth. Of course, they don't have any night up there, and he's still spending the day. God, I'm so ignorant. But you know, one day I'll understand this book. One day He'll make it plain to me. One day the mysteries will be solved. A preacher said to me, Dr. Lakin, when I get to heaven, I won't ask the Apostle Paul why he put certain things in this book. I said, honey, when you get to heaven, you won't have to ask him. When you get to heaven, you won't have to ask him. Then shall we know, even as also we are known. There are heights I've never scaled, there are depths I've never fathomed, there are mysteries I've never solved. Some things I'll never know, disappointments I'll never know until I get to heaven. Someone asked me about my son that went tragically at home to be with Jesus when I was 1,100 miles from home. And someone said to me, Dr. Lakin, have you ever asked God why? I went through a cemetery not long ago down in Florida, and it had a big word on a testimony that said, why? I said, I've never asked God why. I've never asked God why. Because someday up in heaven, He'll make it plain to me. And until then, I'll watch and wait. Until then, I'll watch and wait.
A man dreamed, and he knocked on that pearly gate, just a dream. And a voice within said, who is it that seeks entrance into heaven? What is the password? And the man said, I'm a moral man. Well, what is the password into heaven? Honesty. And the voice within said, depart from me, ye that work iniquity. I never knew you. Another knocked at the portals of heaven. The voice within said, who is it that seeks entrance into heaven, and what is the password? This man said, I am a humanitarian. What is the entrance, the password to heaven? He said, love, charity, good deeds. The voice within said, depart from me, ye that work iniquity. I never knew you. Another knocked. Who is it that seeks entrance into heaven? And what is the password? I am a religious man. What is the password? Religion, baptism, church attendance. The voice within said, depart from me, ye that work iniquity. I never knew you. Finally, a fourth man knocked at heaven's portals. This is all just a dream. But the fourth man said, the voice within said, who is it that seeks entrance into heaven? And what is the password? And the man on the outside said, I'm a Christian. I've given my heart to Christ. I've been born again. In my hand, no price I bring. Simply to thy cross I cling. And the voice within said, open wide the gates and let him in. For of such is the kingdom of heaven.